What's going on, everybody, and welcome to another State of Affairs monthly update video on my channel. This month we are wrapping up the month of May and discussing a little bit looking into June. This time around there's not necessarily a whole lot to discuss per se, just mostly all of the normal stuff I would say there is to do. But beyond all of that, I think we can just kind of jump into the update. First off, as always, going into the last month's videos with a little bit of performance, where I just kind of go over kind of the broad scale stuff that happened last month. First off, I did do my April reading wrap up and TBR video. That was 34 views. I did my first of a new series, Wheel of Time Diaries, where I just kind of go through, and they're partially spoiler free, but the purpose of these is so that I can do a little bit of spoiler talks for some of the things that I'm reading. Specifically on Wheel of Time, because I figured that this series being something that's going to take so long for me, and because it has such a big audience, or a big fan base, I suppose, would be something that would be fun to do, so that people could get an idea of what I think about basically everything as I'm reading the series without, having to know me personally, for example. So this was the very first one of those that I did. This got 73 views over the month. Next up was the March wrap up, or whatever it was, the April wrap up, sorry. So May's State of Affairs video, which got 31 views. Then I did a review of The Way of a Dan by Philip Chase, which got 37 views. I actually turned out being very happy with this review. It was a long one. It was a half-hour long. I haven't had a half-hour long video on this channel in a hot minute, I don't think, or at least most of the time they tend to not get that long, at least not for single book reviews. That one did turn out being that way, but I was very happy about that review and very happy about that book, and actually highly recommend it. Very excited for the next one to come out later this month. Next up, I did my second Wheel of Time diary, which got 47 views. Then was my normal bi-weekly update for the 14th of May, 28 views. A review of 127 Hours Between a Rock and a Hard Place by Aaron Ralston only got 12 views. This was the only one of these videos that actually performed in any way that I would say mediocre or bad compared to the rest of them. If this had been a year ago, 12 views actually would have been a decent showing, but nowadays it's a little bit on the lower end, still fine. Retention was pretty good for that one, all things considered. Next was Wheel of Time Diary number 3. This one had 44 views. Then I did a review of Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. This one was 28 views. Then was obviously Wheel of Time Diary number 4. This one was 56 views, so strangely enough, higher than both Diaries 2 and 3, but that kind of makes a little bit of sense. By this point, I was approaching close to the end, so I suppose people wanted to hear what I was thinking about kind of that stuff, as opposed to the more straightforward journeying that was happening before that in the book. Next up was the next bi-weekly update, Fortnight on the Isle, for the 28th of May. This one was 28 views somehow already, which was a little bit surprising. The next up, I did a review of the full Underland Chronicles by Suzanne Collins. This video is definitely the biggest surprise of the month, beyond the fact that all of my Wheel of Time diaries happened to get a lot more views than I was expecting. They would get a lot more, basically a lot more attention than I thought that they would get. Beyond those being kind of a generalized surprise, this specific video was my biggest surprise of the month, and one of the bigger surprises of my channel up to this point, because it got 36 views even just in the however many days it was out before the turn of the month. It was only out for 2 days. 36 views in 2 days with only a barely below average view retention length. So like, that was actually really surprising. And even just today, at the end of the June 1st, when I'm recording this, it's already gotten another like 10 views even beyond that. Just very surprising outcome for this specific video. But I am very grateful for all of that. So that's kind of what's gone down. Those are all the videos that I've released this month. Of course, I maybe should think about including the videos that came out on my second channel over the course of any given month. Let me go ahead and switch over to there and kind of give that out to you. I completely forgot to consider that I ought to include these in there as well on my second channel, which should be linked in the description below. King Crusoe VODs would be the for that. It's called King Crusoe 2 Electric Boogaloo, just because I wanted to have fun with it. I did my first Zelda Talks with Josh. That was kind of a podcast episode. That one got 6 views already. Had very good. I was expecting like maybe a couple views on this. And then I also did an album review for Sleep Tokens Take Me Back to Eden, which was a blog post on my website as well, where there's also just an individual audio track. This video that I did on my second channel for it was just the audio track, but with a visualizer for it. So it's not like a fully fleshed video, the same way that some of these are. But yeah, I did those two on my second channel as well, 6 views and 9 views respectively. So that was something that I was actually really happy about as well. Next up, let's go ahead and talk about last month's writing. So first off, I did just mention that Sleep Token blog. It turned out being a 3,600 word blog, so that was something that I worked on, and then I read it out loud. I made a narration of it, and I included that narration on the blog post as well as a link to that video as well. So if you want to check that out, the website and my second channel are both linked in the description if you are interested. Next up, I did finally begin stage 3 of the Reign of Ash pre-writes, aka outlining, as I'll refer to it from now on. So I did get 5,500 words approximately written for parts 1 and 2 of the very first book of the sequence, being Silent Reign. So I got through about the first act of it, about 5,500 words. Given that I was thinking that each one of these outlines would be maybe between 5 and 10,000 words, and that I have well over 5,000 words, and I'm only done with Act 1, I'm thinking that all of these are going to end up on the longer side, which is actually good for future me when I actually write the books. The more detailed that I have the outlines, the better I'll be at knowing what's happening, let's say, while I'm writing them. Beyond that, I will just say that I would like to be done with all 19 of these, as I've mentioned a few times on the channel up to this point, by the end of 2024. So basically by 2025, I would like to be done with all 19 of these. We'll see, because life's going to get crazy this summer with the potential to get even crazier later this year, this autumn. And if what I'm specifically referring to, which I'm not going to, give any details here, if what I'm referring to ends up happening, there's a good chance that my life will never not be crazy again. So we'll kind of see how things go. I do hope to only have to spend about 1.5 years on those 19 outlines, but given that I haven't gotten to work on that outline for Silent Reign at all since 2 weekends ago when I got those 5,500 words done for it, something makes me wonder if I'm going to be able to, do one outline every month for the next 1.5 years. We'll see. I hope so, but no guarantees at all. Next up will be channel statistics, and just as I will go into all of the channel statistics for this channel, I will also at the very end go over some of the channel statistics for my second channel, because again, I didn't think to include them until I started recording. So sorry, I'm on my phone. I'm just pulling up my second channel's stats over here just so that I have them, because that'll be pretty useful. First off, I did get 610 views in May, which was already better than April. So first off, I will just say every single one of these statistics portions for this video is basically going to be an increase. I broke May. Yeah, never mind. I'm lying. April already broke pretty much all of my channel records up to this point. May broke basically all of them again. So that's something that I'm really grateful for. I do not take that for granted. I'm very surprised. I thought that May was going to see a significant step down, but instead I had a 12.1% increase in view count. I had a 50.1% increase in watch hours, with a total of 51.8 watch hours in 1 month. One single month, I broke 50 watch hours, which is just insane to me. Like, here I went into 2023 hoping that maybe I would get 200 watch hours through the year, maybe 250 if I was lucky. Here I've already gotten a quarter / a fifth of either one of those goals, respectively, just in May, which is just insane. Next up was impression count. I remember mentioning last month that my amount of impressions in April was absurdly high. It was higher than basically all of my impressions that I got in 2022 combined. It was like 31,000 or something like that. This month I got somehow even more, 35,639, for a 14.4% increase over last month. The only reason this ended up being another broken record was because of that Underland Chronicles video that I talked about before. it was looking a couple days ago that I would barely not break this record and that it would be within maybe 600 impressions away from breaking the record again, which in and of itself was something that I was still going to be very happy about. But then the Underlying Chronicles video, just for whatever reason, got like 5,500 impressions in its first day for some reason. I have no idea why. No idea why, but for whatever reason that just happened. So that's where all the rest of those impressions came from. Next up was subscriber count. I once again got a lot of subscribers. In April, I was already happy to get a net gain of 10 subs and actually didn't lose any in that period as well. Something that was very cool to see, actually. For whatever reason, I hadn't been expecting that. In May, I had a net gain of 14 subscribers. I actually gained 15, but I did lose one. So even still, that's a huge jump. Here I was thinking like, okay, well, let's see if I'm able to keep 450 plus subscribers and see if I can, keep that through the rest of the year. Here I am with another 14 subscribers more. If I continue to accrue any, there's a good chance that I'll hit that seemingly very far off goal of 500 subscribers by the end of the year. I'm not going to count on it, but that would be pretty neat if it did happen. In terms of statistics for my second channel, I did mention those two videos, 6 and 9 views each, so 15 views, which obviously I don't have any past data to compare this to. So 15 views in May. Pretty happy about that for just 2 videos and for a channel that basically did not exist prior. 4.2 watch hours. Very acceptable, considering that there were a couple months early on in 2022 on this channel where 4.2 wasn't even the amount of watch hours that I was getting in a month. On here, the fact that I got 4.2 with just those 2 videos over there was something that I'm very happy about, and I already have 8 subscribers over there. Technically, I only gained 4 of those this month because a few of those were from people who actually went over and subscribed over the last few months when I mentioned it, saying that I was preparing to upload VODs, and it took me several months to get to that. But yeah, that was what happened. So those were kind of the stats that I got there. I suppose I should mention impressions as well. I got 129 impressions over there, so that's actually not insignificant as well for a brand new channel with only 2 videos. Either way, I'm very happy with all that. Thank you guys, as always, for all the support. I want you to know that I do not take any of this for granted ever. The fact that May broke all of these records for me is insane, and I greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate it. I genuinely do. I thought that May was going to be a huge step down from April just kind of being an anomaly. And if the rest of this summer doesn't go anywhere near as good as either April or May does, that'll be fine because these 2 months have been really great for the channel and I'm just really happy about that in the first place. So let's go ahead and talk about at the end of this video here this month. I'm not really sure what I've got planned at the moment. Obviously, I'm still going to have the 2 videos happening every month, but this month there's not going to be reading diaries, so there's going to be like non-review topics on Thursdays. There's going to be reviews on Tuesdays just as normal. This month on the second channel, I'll be starting to upload some old VODs from a few years ago of old Let's Play stuff I did. Not any good, but they're going to be uploaded over there anyway. I don't know why I'm doing that, but I am, I guess. Either way, those are kind of like the basic channel plans. This month as well, I'm working on continuing and finishing my website edits, so all of the major revisions that I have over there. I did publish the website again so that my blog would be visible for that blog that I've talked about, the sleep token review. But beyond that, a lot of those pages I still haven't fully repaired yet. I'm going to be working on that. I'm going to be finishing up some of the final touches, I suppose, on my Discord server as well, so that hopefully by the 1st of July, I can like kind of have both of those like fully published and out there and do better at promoting them and keeping them up and updating them all the time, and maybe even making a potential social media presence with all of my official seasonal productions accounts so that maybe I can attract more attention towards some of the stuff that I'm working on. That's kind of the stuff that's going on this month. I would like to get back into gaming because I did not get a game nearly as much in May as I wanted to and hoped to. It seems like a lifetime ago that I just only got to play 9 hours of Tears of the Kingdom, but I mean, it feels like it was lifetime, and it pretty much was because I only got to play it like a couple days after release. Haven't had a spare moment to be able to do it again. I would like to be able to do some of that more this month, like just over the summer generally, give myself a chance to relax, especially since autumn is probably going to be crazy, and there is, unfortunately, the chance that video count might go back down again this autumn. which I don't like to say and don't like to even consider, but depending on, like I said, what happens with work, I'm genuinely just not sure what's going to be going down. The fact that I have most of the videos coming out over the next 3 months already uploaded to YouTube and ready to publish, scheduled for their publishing on their respected days, is pretty much the only reason that I can guarantee even my schedule this summer is going to be up to snuff. So we're just kind of gonna take the rest of the year as it goes, is pretty much how things are going. The basics of the story is for this month. I'm not committing to anything right now because I still need to gauge how insanely messed up my life is going to be in terms of my time and all of that stuff this summer. I genuinely don't know what it's going to be like. So thank you guys for watching this update all the way through if you did. This one was finally a little bit shorter than some of the past ones. I think a lot of that, however, might have been because I've been kind of zooming through this and because my voice kind of hurts a little bit, so I haven't been wanting to talk much more than I need to. But either way, thank you guys for watching. I'll be back on Tuesday with my reading wrap up and TBR for May/June, depending on which section of that you're concerned about. It's going to be a fun video, which I'm actually going to be recording immediately after I'm done recording here. So thank you guys for watching. I'll be back in the next video.